Thank you and welcome everybody to All the Way Podcast episode 2. On today's podcast, we are looking at goals and achieving them in writing them down every single day. I wanted to share the power of writing down goals every single day and what it's done for me in my life as a coach and how it's revolutionized my goal setting techniques. On the 31st of March 2018, I committed to writing down my goals every single day. And it's a technique I picked up from Brian Tracy, who's one of my favourite coaches and speakers and authors. And I thought this is really good and too good not to share with people, because I believe if you can take it and run with it and use it, you'll see results a lot sooner than if you didn't start doing it. And I've seen results happen in my life, and I would never give... as a trainer, as a professional, I would never give somebody a technique that I didn't believe worked for myself. And the way that it works is you write down your goals every day in the first person narrative as if you've already achieved it. Now, the way that you start your sentence is with the words I am. And you finish the sentence with the goal as if you've already achieved it. Now, I was a little bit skeptical at first, not going to lie, but I started to think to myself, well, what's the worst that can happen? Let me just give it a go, see what happens. And as I started way back in 2018, the results were astounding. And I even pulled out some of the old lists to reflect on, because I am a reflective learner. And I pulled out some of the old lists from 2018 to see how far I've come, and thought, yeah, this is too good not to share, and I've got to speak about it. So if I can help somebody else be able to achieve their goals a lot sooner, then why not? Especially if it's done some good stuff for me. And it wasn't the goals themselves that I wanted to talk about that was important. It's the principle behind it. And scientifically, what happens is subconsciously, your mind goes to work on achieving these goals so that your conscious mind becomes aware of ideas, opportunities, books, conversations, the people that you meet, and in order to be able to achieve these goals sooner. And the crazy part is your behavior even starts to combine with all of those things to be able to work and line up with where you're heading, so that you can achieve those goals a lot sooner than if you didn't write them down every day. And you start to achieve the goals a lot sooner than if you didn't write them down every day. And it was just, I just thought, no. It was only until I started to see it happen for myself, I thought, yeah, I'm going to keep on doing this. I'm going to keep this in my daily routine. And I love the process of just adding more goals. I love the process of being able to write them down every day. I get a little bit closer every single day, and start to see the results as well, which is really, really good. And one of the best feelings is being able to tick it off on that day when you've written it for the last time. And as things progressed for me and in my career and things like that, I thought I would be a bad coach if I didn't share this with my friends and family and people closest to me, especially if it's working, because I didn't want anybody to say to me, well, if it's working for you, why didn't you at least tell us? Why didn't you at least share it with us? So I thought, no, I've got to put my 2 cents in and be able to give opportunities to people to be able to take on this technique as well, because it is so simple and it's such a small time investment of your day, but the rest of the 24 hours that you're going about your daily lives, your subconscious mind is working for you on your behalf. Now, the way that I wanted to do this podcast is, first of all, I wanted to share that part of the journey, and then I wanted to split it into almost 2 sections. The first section is the importance of having a goal, and the second section is the power of writing it down. So the first part is the importance of having a goal. Now, everybody has goals. As human beings, we are goal-seeking organisms. We are very goal-orientated. And there's a lot more people who are coming to the forefront of becoming more goal-orientated. And that's why I want to share this technique with you guys today. And The very first step of having a goal is writing it down so it's clear. And the good thing about it is when it's clear to see in front of you, you can make an assessment of whether it's worth going for or not. So how do you make an assessment of whether it's worth going for or not? Once you have your goal, no matter if it's big or small, if it takes a long time or if it's something that you can do very quickly, you need to ask yourself these 4 very important questions. And I'm going to talk you through those 4 important questions. And by the end of the 4, you'll be able to make an assessment of whether it's important or whether it's worth going for as one of your goals to be able to achieve it. The first question is, what do I need to know in order to be able to achieve this goal? So this is all the information you're going to need. Do I need to study up about it? Do I need to do my research? Who do I need to speak to who may have already achieved the goal? What do I need to know? This is all the information gathering so that you can almost prepare your journey to be able to go on this, to be able to achieve your goal. The second question is, who needs to be involved? Now, you can do it all by yourself, which potentially can take longer, or you can seek other people around you to be able to help you achieve the goal. So, for example, if you wanted to be the highest performing manager in your business, wherever you work, in order to be able to achieve that goal, you're going to need a good team around you. You may need a good supervisor underneath you, your number 2, who will be able to help you achieve that goal. You may even need a good boss to work for to be able to help you achieve that goal as well. So who needs to be involved? A lot of goals, if they can be achieved, they usually take more than one person to be able to achieve it and go for it. And this is a really good place to bring your other half in and get your spouse on board, because any big goals, you're going to need, the approval of your missus or, your other half to be able to achieve it as well. So who needs to be involved? Number 3 is, what do I need to do? So this is the more action-orientated part. So based on the research and who needs to be involved, now you can start to put together your plan. And I'm not going to go into SMART objectives and stuff like that. You can get that on somebody else's course, on somebody else's podcast. Today, this is not the time to look at SMART objectives. This is just looking at the plan. And maybe in another session we'll look at SMART objectives, but not today. So that's just looking at everything you need to do. Now, the 4th and final question you need to ask yourself while looking at this goal is, what will it cost me in order to be able to achieve it? This, by far, is probably the most important question that you will have to ask yourself in order to go for this goal or not. Because once you determine all the things it's going to cost you, all the sacrifices, the time, the resources, the potential money, everything that it will potentially cost you in order to be able to achieve this goal, you will be able to make a determined assessment up front to be able to say, is this worth going for or not? If it is, fantastic, we'll move on to the second part. If it's not, we either need to adjust the goal or write it off completely and say, do you know what, I'm not going for it. Because the reason why you do these 4 questions is because it gets the goal out of the back of your mind and into a place where you can see it. Because a lot of people have ideas, a lot of people have passions and goals and stuff that they want to go for, but never really take the first step in order to be able to achieve it. Writing it down so it's in front of you is the very first step, and it takes no time at all. It's so simple to do, but also very simple not to do. Now, when you take that first step, you started the process from being able to achieve it. Once you ask yourself these 4 questions, it really becomes clear to you, is it worth going for or not? And that's the difference. So once you've assessed, based on those 4 questions, if it's worth going for, we move on to the second part, which is writing it down and the power of writing it down. Every single time you write down your goals, what happens is it programs into your subconscious mind ideas, opportunities, behaviors on how to achieve this goal in your day-to-day life. And what will start to happen is a random pop-up in your mind as you're just going about the most menial tasks will just come into your mind about how you can achieve these goals. And the way that it works is you start your sentence, as you write it down, you start your sentence with the two words "I am," and "I am" is an incredible, powerful two words. We're not going to go into the power of the detail of how powerful the two words "I am" are today, but you start your sentence with "I am," and you finish the sentence with the rest of the goal as if you've already completed it. For example, if you want to weigh a certain amount, you write down "I am," you insert the amount of weight that you want to be of good healthy muscle or of good healthy size. That's just how it works. And it's like a tree. It takes root in your mind and in your head, and every day when you write it down, those roots become stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, what happens is, the reason why you do this every single day is because it takes root in your mind and helps you permanently change to become the person you need to be in order to achieve the goal. Because everybody could have little spurts of genius where they really go for it and they make it happen, and then they go 6 weeks and nothing happens at all. And then it's just dead, which is a lot harder to maintain than just doing a little bit of consistent work every day. And the little bit of consistent work starts with writing it down. And as you start to become the person you need to be in order to achieve the goal, your behaviours start to line up with who you need to be in order to go for it as well. It's so, yeah, it's quite a surreal thing. And every month or so, or every 3 or 4 months, I like to just review my goals. So I even pulled out some of the old lists that I did a long time ago, 2018, to be able to write down my goals every day. And I pulled out some of the old lists, and I think to myself, wow, I've achieved so many of them, and it doesn't feel like it took that long at all. Looking back, at the time it feels like it's forever, but looking back, it didn't take that long at all, and I thought, yeah, I've got to share it with other people. So just to review, we've looked at, since March 2018, the power of writing down your goals every single day. And the first part is the importance of having a goal in the first place. And the second part is the power of writing it down. When you're very clear on what the goal is, when you're very clear on what it's going to cost you in order to be able to do it, you'll be able to go for it. And the second part is when you write it down every single day, your behaviours, your attitude, and even opportunities start to become clearer to you in order to be able to achieve it. And it stops you from writing the goal and just kind of leaving it half-half. You end up going for it all the way, and you end up pushing it forward all the way. And anything that ever needs to be achieved requires your full effort, and you won't be able to do it unless you go all the way. So this very small podcast is going to be all about just making sure that you go all the way with it. So let me know how you get on. Send me an email. I'll leave my email in the comments. Send us an email and let us know how you get on with it. Thank you.